Hi, what's your name? Just take your gloves off.
Yeah, let's go look at just outside the door there.
Yeah. There's nothing.
The Swaledale Mountain Rescue Team are just one of the voluntary-based rescue teams in the UK today. This documentary will reveal the training skills needed to become a valuable member of a mountain rescue team.
Mountain rescue started generally in this country just before the Second World War, but was really sort of developed during the Second World War when returning aircraft crew crashed into sort of upland areas and needed recovering. So that's how it started for the RAF mountain rescue teams. Generally in the bigger mountainous areas, be that the Lake District or Scotland, it was willing volunteers that would go and recover casualties, but that was sort of dating back to the 1930s.
Right, the aim today is for the team to effectively search a riverbank and to put into safety procedures into practice. In case somebody falls in the river, we've got to be able to respond and get them out of the river. And also when we find a casualty, we've got to be able to get them out of the river safely and then treat them. Because obviously in conditions like this, if you're in the river, hypothermia may be a problem. So we've got to address those issues.
So you actually go in the river?
Two of us will probably be in the river, yes. Those of us dressed like this will be in the river.
Basically, I'm the cast carer today,
right.
So we'll search for. We'll search up and down the side of the river, and if we find a casualty, and then shout for me, and I'll go and assess the casualty. So that's my duties for today.
To ensure that river rescues are performed correctly, one of the team reenacts an emergency situation where he falls into the river. This gives the less experienced team members a chance to use the rescue equipment and to gain practice as if it was a real rescue situation.
The team's going to come around the corner. We have two search teams working either side of the bank. They're going to come round. We're practicing how to safely search, because it's not just looking for the casualty that's important. It's also looking after yourselves in a moving water environment. So they'll come down. They will have seen the casualty that's over on the rocks, and the idea is to recover the casualty appropriately, safely, and administer any medical attention as required. So you've got your two swiftwater guys who are attached to the rope, but they can detach themselves should they so need, and they're floating. They're going to float the casualty into the deep water. And then with these guys as like a fixed belay point, they're going to then swing round. And if you notice through the other arch, you've got the rest of the crew putting the kit together. And this is, you need to get someone out of this environment. You can do very little for them on that sort of set of rocks. The overriding fundamental is, at the moment, when we went into the water, before we went into the water, we actually had one casualty. Now we have 3 people in the water, so that's potentially 3 casualties. So you have to be very, very careful how you do this. There's well-recorded instances of well-meaning rescuers actually get themselves killed. The problem is that well-meaning rescuers who do heroic things and live get medals. Unfortunately, sensible rescuers who realise that the job's too dangerous and stop tend not to get any medals.
Right.
So this is our standard mountain rescue stretcher, which is called a bell stretcher.
Quickly! Get the stretcher here.
Medical training is given to the rescue team via the medical services and the on-hand doctor, who was a fully trained member of the rescue team. Making sure the casualty is retrieved from the river as quickly as possible without endangering anybody's lives is vital for the rescue to go on plan. Carrying out a check of the casualty before they are taken out to the river and placed on the stretcher reduces the chances of any other potential injuries to the victim.
Up to the vehicles that way. That's the best route, isn't it? Not that way. Vehicle fellas, that way. Vehicle over 10.
The casualty is now being taken into the medical tent.
That's the tent, Graham. Let's get a wet kit off her. Right, we only need a few people in here, cats carriers only, so everyone else out.
Yeah. You're going to come towards me.
Yeah, we need another pair of hands.
Do you want your help?
What you do is run towards you. Take this off.
The medical tent is where casualties are assessed for such things as hypothermia and neck and spinal injuries, where they can be treated until other emergency services respond. The aim is also to keep the casualty as comfortable and as alert as possible. This varies with different types of injuries.
Sorted out.
Right, we'll go back to you then. Let's get all trousers, everything over this time.
You can just cut those up and...
Can they be cut off?
Yeah. We're dying to do that.
Well, cut your pants off.
This might be,
As well as the river rescues, the team also train high buildings in the pitch black. This is a way of training for cave and mineshaft rescues. We went with the team to one of these buildings to see exactly how they train.
Tonight's exercise is a confined space search and rescue. We're working in the village again, but there's quite a number of safety points I want to go through at the start of this for working in the village for various reasons. We'll be working, for those of you that know it, in the high-rise block, and we're going to be working top to bottom as opposed to the way we did it last time was bottom to top. So you're going to have to get into your heads the slight unrealism that the surface entrance is at the top of the building, which will require you to go up the stairs to get to it. I've outlined the safety points on the board there. Full PPE at all times. You've got to have your helmets on, got to be tied on with harnesses if you're inside the building, or moving around inside the building. I advise you to wear gloves. There are a number of trap doors which we'll be using, which will close without warning, and there are a number of sharp edges in the building. So for your own protection of your own hands, entirely up to you of course, but I recommend you wear gloves. Head torches will be required, and don't move around inside the building without any light. If for any reason your head torch goes off, don't try and find your way out. For exactly the same reason, there are a number of trap doors, some of which are open, and there's quite a fall through onto concrete floor. So please don't move around inside the building or anywhere else in the village without any light. We'll move in just over 10 minutes.
In this rescue, one team have to search for 2 casualties. For this, they must search the entire building, with the only way down being a brick lift shaft. Starting from the top of the building ensures a thorough search of each floor.
Have you got any eyelets on your boots?
no.
No, that's okay then.
Okay.
Nice riding gloves.
The rescue has certain members of the team with specific jobs. There is one person situated on every level of the building, ensuring a safe descent of the team.
Exercise timing reasons, this one doesn't exist.
Right, going down to...
All members of the team have to perform the ladder task to ensure that their training procedures are fulfilled. Difficulties with this task include low visibility, very time consuming and also hazardous conditions.
Try just to Try just to put your toes to and not your full foot.
Oh, friendly's through there, he's hurt, he's...
What is being shown here is the acting out of a moving casualty coming to ask for help, to lead the rescue team to where the other injured party is situated.
Right, okay, then we'll go and get some help. Right, he's back in there, onto the right.
I don't know what's wrong with him, he hasn't been moving much. He's called Bernard. Andy. You're right, Andy.
Although the moving casualty does not appear to be injured, he must be thoroughly assessed for hypothermia and other potential injuries like broken bones or bruising of the body. At the end of each rescue, the team need to debrief to ensure that every team member is okay and to discuss how successful the rescue was. This is basically a critical analysis of their work individually and as a team, and to discuss the time in which it took to find the casualties, any injuries the casualties had and how quickly they were treated.
Helen, you did something in the corner there. Anything, any issues?
No, not at all. Just checked him over. He was slightly hypothermic, so...
Yeah. Casualty?
No, I was fine.
You didn't get his Mars bar though, did you?
No.
No, I didn't get a Mars bar.
Have you got any comments at all about what was going on down here? Or, you know, felt pretty lonely or whatever?
Well, it was a bit lonely to start with, but...
Would it be appropriate in this environment to call out? Are you there?
Yes, yeah, very much so.
I didn't hear anyone saying hello.
We normally would do, wouldn't we?
Yeah, you'd be poking your head into heaven and shouting like hell, looking for some sort of response. Once you got the hypothermic casualty, I presume he was wrapped.
Yeah.
Team shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent it on.
Yeah. Now, it depending on how far underground we got, would very much depend on which casualty you'd extract first. I mean, because you got the more major injuries here, the first call would normally be to take the more serious person out. But in an underground environment, because of the aggressive nature and his state could deteriorate rapidly from being hypothermic, mildly hypothermic because he's still up and about, to being severely hypothermic, and suddenly we've got two stretcher casualties. So in this particular case, I'd like to see any other potentially more serious casualties out and moving out of the underground environment as rapidly as possible, so they don't become another stretcher case. Because to move a stretcher even this far, realistically, we were in an underground that we'd probably want 20 to 30 people. In a real underground set. In a house like this, it's warm, it's dry, it's pleasant, relatively speaking. We could have got away with what we've got. A real underground set, it just eats people. You can't believe how many people you need. So you want to get all of the casualties out the way, if at all possible. If you have to stabilise them and keep them there, you do. But then you dedicate one person to them, because you can't leave a hypothermic casualty on their own, because the bugger's going to wander off and do stupid things.
Okay.
Right.